you do works, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Yeah. Well, it's talking, going back to what we started with the intensity.
Yeah.
And how we do things. You know, our effort is always going to be 100%. Our concentration on whether it be a 135 warm up, a 135 floor press warm up, a freaking goblet squat warm up, the mentality of it and the concentration level is 100%.
Yeah.
Now the intensity or return on intensity, I kind of like to say that because, you know, a return on intensity off of 135 means I can walk around, bust your balls in the gym, but go back into it. Now, if for me, you know, I'm not going to say 1,100 to 1,000, but 600-700 for me is going to be like, okay, I'm not busting your balls at that point. You're not busting my balls. The effort for me mentally is 100%, but now my intensity is also 100%.
Right.
And I think people forget that in the end all to be training because we just said it 5 minutes ago, you can't go full speed all the time.
Yeah, and that includes like even that day when you walk in the door in the gym. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a difference between being mentally dialed in and just burning yourself out before you ever got to, you know, your sets. I mean, you know, you see that all the time. You see people come in the gym and they're just, you know, dialed in, mentally focused, and then, you know, it takes you an hour to get to your working sets, and then they're just gassed out. You know, I mean, it's good to have the mindset. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to train.
Yeah.
But you've got to dial it. You've got to let it focus in as the weights get heavier, as you know, the intensity level rises.
You got to learn when to turn it on and when to coast a little bit, and it's evident in a lot of the athletes that had longevity in their sport. Like for instance, you talk to some retired football players that had a long career, and they would talk about, hey, or basketball players, probably a better example. They have the conference won, they coast for a few games to heal up, get ready for the playoffs, and they know when it's time to turn it on and it really counts, you turn it on. And I'm not saying you should coast at the end of your season or your off season, but at the same time, you can't just redline it 24/7 because you'll have mental burnout, it'll lead to injuries, you'll get sick of what you're doing.
Yep.
You got to know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. If you want to joke and stuff on your lighter sets and, you know, mess around, but when it's time to turn it on, you got to know. You got to go to that same place that you go on competition day.
Yeah.
And know that, hey, I'm focused, I'm not going to be beat. You know, whatever it does, everyone's different. Some people have to think of, you know, people that did them wrong in the past. Some people have to think of failures in the past. Some people just have to think of all the greats that have come before them. Everyone's different. And I've talked to people that are great at what they do, and each one of them, they have something in common, and it's a place they go, whether it's, again, something weird or whatever works for them, they go to that place, and then when they're done, they turn it off.
It's a motivation.
Yes.
It's a motivation switch. You know, there's only a certain amount of things that can get you motivated, but that's for you internally.
Yeah.
It's like Michael Jordan's retirement speech. He thanked his varsity basketball coach for benching him or cutting him or whatever. I'm like, dude, that's 35 years ago, man. Let it go. No, that's what fueled him his whole career.
Yeah.
You know, and
6 championships later, and you know what, 8 MVPs later, and, you know, 6-time or 5-time NBA, you know, MVP in the finals. Like, but that's sickness. That's greatness.
Yeah.
You know, and I think greatness is maybe underused and overused occasionally. I think there are certain athletes that were great at what they did.
Yeah.
I think for each individual, they can reach a certain amount of greatness within.
Yeah.
You know, for some of the people that we get to work with, maybe that greatness and that intensity and that concentration for us, we look at it and we're like, all right, well, you know, you could focus a little bit more, but for them, that's what their effort is. They feel that greatness at that level.
Yeah.
They may not get on world's stage, you know, they may not step up to nationals, they may not do that, but for them, that they may have that day in their head, that may be their greatness for the day.
I mean, to do stuff that we do, you know, as far as, you know, a strength-oriented sport, you have to have a little bit of a screw loose.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you
haven't we noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, look at all the guys that
refer to the first 30 seconds of this video.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
or dinner.
that can't be honest with you. But I mean, you know, that's what drives people. You know, you got to be a little nuts to want to get in there and punish your body to that degree.
Fucked up. Listen. I'll tell you right now, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I do not compete in powerlifting because I'm not that fucked up. I told you both on my way down here
This is the guy that passed out doing front squats.
No, this with 65
We'll get to
pounds.
that in a little bit.
We're going to 65 pounds. Now, no, and I'm being dead serious with this. I individually, I don't feel I'm a very good individual athlete. You know, my motivating factor, like you just said, is I'm so used to team efforts.
Right.
You know, so I still play baseball. I enjoy that. I still compete, and I still do things that I find I'm interested in and motivated in. But for me to find that place that you just talked about, in a meet, who knows? One day, you know, you may get on my shit enough, and you may get on my shit enough to say, okay, stop being a bitch and go out there and do it. You know, but at the same time, to compete in the sport that you guys compete in, it does take that screw loose.
Yeah.
Because you're getting under things that most people most families can't move together.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pretty fucking cool to watch. You know, and that was cool last night. You know, even though it wasn't a true, you know, high intense day of training, it was just cool to walk into.
Yeah.
You know, because
There's still a level of intensity there.
Yeah.
no, and there is, and you know, Adam just missed a PR.
Yeah.
You know, because his foot slipped. I think he's full of shit. But
He's still blaming Philippe, by the way.
you know, okay, so the point of it is that it's just it's a sport that if you don't have that intensity, if you don't have that internal switch, you're not going to be any good at it.
Yep.
You know, you're not going to be good.
But you know, and that's true about a lot of things in life in general. Though, you know, to be really successful in anything, you've got to have something that's that motivating force for you to do it. You know, it's got to be borderline obsessive. And that's why, you know, you talk about, you know, in 10-20 life, the fact that you have to have an off season, because if not, it's going to consume you.
You're going to ruin everything.
It's
that
going
you're
to take
around.
away your values of your family, and you know, it's a great point. You know, and it allows you to, you know, not only get stronger. I mean, that's where you're going to get stronger at in the first place, but allows you to keep everything else in life in order. You know, because if not, you start to blur that line between, you know, what should be acceptable and what isn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm great at anything. It may be being an asshole, but I think I'm a good lifter.
You're a
You
good
know,
bike rider.
Yeah, great
Beach cruiser.
beach cruiser. I'm great at.
Champion.
But I think I'm good. I think I've developed, you know, a decent, you know, career, whatever. But I don't want to hang up my weightlifting belt per se, and look and live in a one-bedroom apartment with rats coming out of the wall, and driving a hoopty car, and then look back and say, well, my body's ruined. I have no money. My family hates me because I've isolated myself, which I have done in the past. Isolated because I was so focused doing 8 meets a year. And that was, I mean, that was fine for the time, but looking back, I see going forward, that's not the right thing for me. Compete twice a year is fine. Have a life, take care of what needs to be taken care of. And you know what, at the end of the day, if you take care of those other things, and you're not a nutcase all of the time, which I am a nutcase a good bit of the time, your lifting and everything else will fall in line, because people will not be on your case.
Yeah.
Because you've spent the time, you've done the things you need to do, you've done the dishes, or you know, went out to eat at places you didn't want to go to, or you know, you brought your wife a biscuit because you're an awesome husband.
Went and picked up the grill.
Yeah, exactly. But then they'll be more likely to support you.
Yeah.
You know,
Support system.
because the last thing we all know someone growing up, whether it was playing baseball, football, or even powerlifting in their earlier years, or even now, we've seen them always have a distraction because their wife or boyfriend or husband or whatever is nagging them because they absolutely hate what they do because of X or Y or whatever. You know what I mean? And so if you can somehow salvage that part of the area of your life outside of whatever you're doing, it's all the more likely that they will be more supportive and at least not try to hold you back.
Yeah.
And give you some support. Even if they don't want to come to your meet, that's fine, but not mess your head up right when you're getting ready to go lifting.
Hear good luck rather than go fuck yourself.
Right.
You know, but I mean, the cool part about that, and the way you both were going on that, is that's a normal person.
Yeah.
You know, so now we're talking about two elite total lifters, right?
Yeah.
Who compete at a very high level. You know, myself who competes at a very high level in other sports.
Yeah.
But that's the lifestyle. So that's not only the lifestyle that we're going to live, but that's the lifestyle that we expect people to live.
Yeah.
And those are people that, one, are going to read the books, are going to read 1020 Life, are going to come and train with us, are going to, you know, ask us to program for them from a distance, are going to go to
trust
events. But now what we're trying to get across is that, okay, now this intensity and this maximum ability to focus on what you're doing happens for this amount of time. But guess what? Then you go and pick up the biscuit. You go and pick up the grill. You know, I bring flowers home. You know, I text my like. There's still, that's an attention to detail of life.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there, and every sport across the board, that consume themselves.
Yeah.
And they feel that, no, that's their life and that's what it has to be. And it's like, wait, time out. You can be at a high level. You can be at an elite level without pushing everyone away.
Yeah.
You know, without living in that rat home. Without, you know, showing up with a foreman grill.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can
Well,
do
not
it.
your foreman. It's quality.
What are you saying?
Living
Freshman
in the dorm room.
sneak it in the dorm. But I mean, and that's it. And I think there's so much literature out there, and there's so many voices out there in this industry that they sometimes forget that people still need to live. You know, I still need to pick up my kids at school on Wednesdays. I still need to get the T-ball on Tuesdays. Like, and if my life is strictly consumed about training and my business and my gym and my competitions and everything, shit, people would hate me everywhere. There are a lot of them that already do.
Oh yeah, I've done well at that.
But you know,
We've all established those people.
Yeah. So, but the point is, it's like, all right, well, can still have a good life, can still have a great lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you draw the analogy to like was it the NFL? You know, guys. You know, there's off season. So in that off season, they really dedicate their time to their family and doing that, and you know, and they're still training and doing those things. But you know, it becomes secondary. You know, I work my training around, you know, making sure my family's, you know, and that's really what you have to do, because you know, once you get into, you know, prep for a competition, you know, you've got 10, 12 weeks of, you know, your body's going to be
more dialed in,
and your focus has got to be precise. You know, I mean, it can't be, you know, when you're talking about weights that can truly hurt you. You know, I mean, it's not, you can't go in there and play around.
It's evident in even the exercising games. You know, that they're not even lifting big weights. But, you know, dudes get paralyzed. You know, doing overhead stuff, just think of all the more when you have a bar resting on your spine. And you know, if you're jacking around, if you're not focused, or if you're so much of an asshole in the year-round time that your wife's bickering at you and messing with your head, and if your head's screwed up when it's time to go lift, when it's time to really turn it on, you're already done.